فخلف من بعدهم خلف أضاعوا الصلاة واتبعوا الشهوات فسوف يلقون غيا. They were followed by such evil successors who destroyed Salah and pursued their passions. Soon they shall meet devastation. In this verse of the Qur'Anic Kareem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions two salient qualities of an evil successor, an evil leader. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned the incidents of various Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam prior to this verse of the Quran. He mentioned the incident of Sayyiduna Zakariya alayhi salatu wassalam in the beginning of this surah. Then he mentions the incident of Yahya, the son of Zakariya alayhi salatu wassalam. He mentioned the incident of Nabi Isa alayhi salatu wassalam and his mother, and the incident of her giving birth to Nabi Isa alayhi salatu wassalam, the incident of Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, Nabi Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, Nabi Ismail alayhi salatu wassalam, Nabi Idris alayhi salatu wassalam, and that they were great leaders. And what led them to be the best leader or the greatest leader? It was them ensuring to fulfill the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever they had been guided by Allah Rabbul Izzati wal Jalal, they would do that in accordance to the law of the time. As soon as a person becomes a leader, if he does not follow the commands of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then he is looking for trouble. What are the signs to get a perfect leader or a good leader? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse of the Quran has mentioned two salient qualities that should be out of a person who is a leader or who should be the leader. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَضَاعُوا الصَّلَاةِ, such evil successors who destroyed Salah. Destroying Salah has many meanings. It has many different levels. One of which is to discard the Salah at all. The second is to miss the Salah with Jama'ah intentionally. The third is to come to the masjid, but you do not perform Salah with the Jama'ah, you perform it alone. And of course, the fourth is you perform your Salah, but you perform it incorrectly. You are not fulfilling the sifat of Salah, the qualities that ought to be in Salah, to perform the Salah with humbleness, with humility in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, putting yourself down to earth, etc. And fulfilling every posture of Salah according to how it ought to be performed. And the second quality that they had in them, ittiba'u shahawat, they would fulfill their desires. They would live a life of luxury, so to say that whatever their whims and fancies would say, they would worship their whims and fancies. They wouldn't worry and care of the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are two qualities which ought not to be found in a leader. If you have a leader who has such kind of qualities, where his salah is not correct, he is not performing the salah, neither is he following the commands of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What he is worried about is about his whims and fancies. He's worried about fulfilling his desires. Then these are not true qualities of a leader. These are qualities of those leaders who فَسَوْفَ يَلْقَوْنَ غَيَّ, will soon face doom and destruction in the hereafter. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam highlighted in a particular hadith that each person is a guardian. Each person is a leader and a ruler to a certain level. كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. And we will be asked in regard to our responsibilities. فَالرَّجُلُ رَاعٍ فِي أَهْلِ بَيْتِهِ. That a person, a man, he is the guardian to the people of his house, and he will be asked in regard to them. Is he providing them enough? Is he taking care of them? Is he bringing them closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is he joining ties of relationship between family members, etc.? وَالْمَرْأَةُ رَاعِيَةٌ فِي بَيْتِ زَوْجِهَا. A woman, what is her responsibility? She is responsible for her household. And is she taking care of what his husband leaves behind when he is out of the home? Is he ensuring that the children are getting, is she ensuring that the children are getting the correct reformation, upbringing, etc.? And she will also be asked in regard to that. وَالْخَادِمُ رَاعٍ فِي مَالِ سَيِّدِهِ. An employee is responsible for the wealth of his employer. So if you are an employee, you are also in charge, and you also have the responsibility to rightfully fulfill your responsibilities working for your employer. Do not waste the time that you have been allocated for, or that has been allocated for you to do certain tasks. Do not use items that are supposed to be used for your work without the permission of the employer. For example, we have printers, we have ink, we have pens, etc. A person should avoid using his work pen for his own purposes. Yes, if there is an understanding between the employer and employee, it's a different thing. Thereafter, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam also mentioned, وَالرَّجُلُ رَاعٍ فِي مَالِ أَبِيهِ. A son is a guardian and is responsible for the wealth of his father. He cannot usurp his father's wealth. He cannot use his father's wealth how he wishes. And he will also be asked in regard to it. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam then mentions once again, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَمَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. Each one of you is a guardian and responsible for your wards and the things under your care. So, respected listeners, we find in this two salient qualities that we should avoid to be finding in our leaders, and it shouldn't be there. If it is there, then that leader is a problematic leader. Number one is ida'atu salah, destruction of salah with the various levels that has been mentioned. And number two, ittiba'u shahawat, following one's whims and fancies. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst the rightly guided leaders and successors for our families and communities, and if we are at a higher level, there as well.